Today we're going to start our ceramics project. Ceramics is a type of art that is created with clay. Clay is something that is naturally found in the ground, and it comes to our school after being cleaned. There are lots of different types of clay that are used in ceramics. Sometimes it can be different colors, or it might be different strengths. We're going to be using a clay today that looks a little bit more gray in appearance, but when we go to decorate it, it will actually appear white. Whenever we start our ceramics project, it's important to remember that ceramics is a long process. We're going to start by making our project, but then the project will have to dry, go in the kiln, come out, be glazed, go back in the kiln again, and then it is ready for you to take home. This will take us a while before our pieces are finished. Ceramic artists start with a basic set of skills. When you were in kindergarten, pinch pot was the skill that we focused on. Third grade, we focus on coils. Coils are long ropes of clay that can be stacked one on top of the other or can be combined with other designs to create fun and whimsical effects. We're going to use coils to create rainbows for our project. You will be able to decide what color you want your rainbow to be, but remember, that is not something you're going to worry about for today. To make a coil, I start by taking the clay in my hand and I start by turning it into a log. Then I'm going to roll up and down with my fingers to create a long, skinny snake. Your goal is to make sure your long, skinny snake is equal and even. As you roll your coil, your clay will probably dry out and you might need to add a little water onto the clay. Think about it like lotion for when your hands get dry. Don't put too much lotion on. If you're working today and one part of your coil becomes too thin, you can put a little bit of water on, overlap your two thin pieces, and keep on rolling your coil if it breaks. You have to use your sense of touch and your eyes on the clay as you work today, or your coils will not be successful. After I get a nice long coil rolled out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay it on my template, and I could use a clay tool to cut the clay, or I could just use my pincher fingers to go ahead and pinch off the extra coil. Your coils don't have to be the exact same size. Your rainbow's not going to be the exact same as mine, but I'm going to go ahead and start with my biggest coil first and then work my way inward. Pinch off my extra. When I start a coil, it's a good idea to start with an amount that's about a ping pong ball. Remember to use your hands to start the log shape and then go ahead and roll out your coil. Remember to go slow and use your sense of touch. I'm obviously going extremely fast in this video. I want to make sure you have enough time to get started. Alright, so my rainbow is going to have 6 coils total. The last one gets a little bit tricky. I'm going to try to make sure everything is touching and there's no space in between them. And then once I get my rainbow done, I'm going to start to work on my next step. So 6 coils, check. My next step is to make some spirals for clouds. When I make my spiral, my clay should be nice and wet because I'm going to be curving it a lot. Coils do not like to be dry, so make sure you're keeping check on the moisture. I'm going to bend my coil forward, and then I'm going to start to roll it up. Now, as I roll, there's usually some cracks that start to form on the back of that coil, and I'll have to go back and I'll have to smooth those out. So take time today to look at the clay. If it's starting to look like elephant skin or very dry, make sure that you give it a small little drink and take your time to make your coils look great. I'm going to continue to smooth out any cracks I see on my curvy coils so that they are not going to break. And once I get one done, then I just keep on doing what I'm doing. Your cloud can look different than my cloud. Yours might not be straight in a row like mine. Maybe you want one coil small, one coil big. That's a possibility for you as well. So go ahead, use your creativity and continue to make those coils. Roll them up. Remember, go slow and careful. Smooth them out as you roll. And if something's a little bit too big, you just pinch it and take off the extra. Alright, so I've got my last coil done, and now I'm going to create one solid piece of clay with my design. I'm going to put some water on my fingers, and I'm going to push and rub, not incredibly hard, just light pressure, to go ahead and smooth my coils together so that they're not separate pieces. If I do not do this step, my rainbow will fall apart, so it's important to take time. I'm just rubbing, and I'm smoothing out those lines to one form. If you have some gaps, you can add some small pieces of clay and then use a little bit of water on your finger to kind of press the clay into those holes and smooth it out a little bit more. This is going to take a little bit of time, so be patient, focus on what you're doing, and when you're all done, you're going to bring it to Miss B. She will add your class and your magic number to the back with a tool. And then as soon as she's got your class and magic number on the back, she will go ahead and she will actually turn your project over to the other side, and you can see your coils are intact, and voila, you've got a rainbow. Next steps will be to dry it out and put it in the kiln so we can fire it.